Yo, I called it. I was right. Papa Stix was right yet again. And by extension of being right, things have escalated. Let me give you a quick TLDR of what happened a couple days ago. I made a tweet going over a publicly accessible article and analysis by Newzoo, which is a reputable company that's been around since 2007, where they documented the top 20 most played PC games. Wuthering Waves came in at number 18, and Genshin Impact came in at number 19. I said that this was an incredible achievement for both games, and people were not happy with that. Genshin Impact players specifically, and this is not an attack, but Genshin Impact players tried every single thing they could to justify why Genshin Impact was realistically higher than Wuthering Waves, going on to discredit the website, discredit me, and discredit every other player. Again, I will stress this is not an attack against the Genshin Impact community, because a lot of Genshin Impact players are totally normal and really don't care about any of this tribalism bullshit. Now fast forward to today. It was confirmed via Lenovo, which is an incredibly large, very popular tech company. Lenovo posted their 2026 PC top 20 games. These numbers, according to Lenovo themselves, are based on comprehensive data from Lenovo's entire product line, encompassing over 280 million active users, monthly active users. This includes launches and downloads specifically within China, which is one of the world's largest gaming markets. As you can see on screen, the top 4 are not Gacha games: Valorant, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, and then number 5 is Wuthering Waves, up 2 positions from number 7 in January. At number 6 is Genshin Impact, up 2 positions from number 8 in January. And then at number 7, which is actually an incredible placement, by the way, and shout out to Arknights Enfield here, because they're also in the top 10 most popular PC games in China right now, coming in at number 7, down 2 from January, where it was at number 5. That's 3 Gacha games in the top 7. At number 9 is Honkai Star Rail, up 2 positions from number 11 in January. We see Zenless Zone Zero up 1 position at number 12 currently from number 13 in January, and Where Winds Meet at number 14. It has been apparently for multiple different months now. What we can gauge from this is that, much like Newzoo's report, which targeted a more global market, China's, which targets a Chinese market, also lists Wuthering Waves ahead of Genshin Impact. And I pointed this out. I said it is now officially the number 1 Gacha game on PC worldwide. This includes global and China, followed by Genshin Impact at number 2, both being in the top 6 most played PC games in China. Congratulations. I openly stated, completely unbiased, this was an event that required congratulation, not for Wuthering Waves, not for Genshin Impact, but for both. Not just that, but every other Gacha game here. I also pointed out that it's not indicative of mobile or console numbers. It is also not indicative of total revenue per game. I even stressed here, so people wouldn't think that I was being biased or that I was attacking Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact coming in at number 6 in terms of total PC games, and number 2 in terms of Gacha games is also absolutely incredible. Being number 2 is an incredible achievement. Final Fantasy XIV remained the number 2 MMORPG in the world for a decade after World of Warcraft. Seeing Arknights Enfield at number 7 is also wild. More played on PC in China than Honkai Star Rail is quite the achievement. What we can gauge from all of this, however, is that Gacha games are continuing to rise in popularity, growing far beyond non-Gacha games, securing themselves as absolute monoliths in the gaming scene. Congratulations to Wuthering Waves at number 1, Genshin Impact on number 2, Enfield on 3, Star Rail on 4, ZZZ on 5, and Where Winds Meet at number 6. All very fun games that I've enjoyed in the past. Not once did I criticize any of these games. Not once did I say anything that could be considered an attack or anything disingenuous. I did nothing but praise every single game. And even in spite of this, even in spite of how positive I was being, all the praise that I was spreading, unfortunately, a certain community of players found issue with what I said. Brother saw one OEM launcher chart and wrote an entire thesis about the global gacha industry. This is like measuring the global economy using vending machine sales LMAO. One OEM launcher chart. This is an article. This is an analysis based off of 280 million active users. I went ahead here and clicked his profile and saw that he's a big Honkai Star Rail fan. So makes sense. Honkai Star Rail was all the way down at number 9 after all, rather than being up at number 5 or number 6. He then further went on to state that not all Lenovo owners play games. It's just an ecosystem, and I completely agree with that. But at the same time, I also stated that encompassing over 280 million monthly active users, I never stated that there were over 280 million monthly active gamers. So this right here is reinforcing the whole gacha players can't read, gacha players misconstrue, gacha gamers lack critical thinking, gacha gamers lack actual just basic comprehension skills. I even went on to further elaborate in my reply to this. It's only 280 million people. Again, I never stated that these people played games, that all these people played games, but I mean, you know what? That's totally fine. This is just a case of, you know, there's basic reading comprehension or an inability to comprehend. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. This guy here stated, Stix is a real loser spreading misinformation. Misinformation about something that is publicly accessible and stated via their own official report and then covered on numerous different gaming websites around the internet. But because I post something publicly accessible, it's misinformation for me. Watch Twitter getting mad over it, saying that Lenovo is lying or it's botted by Tencent somehow. It is. That they actually are. Not that it is botted or not that you know, they're lying, but it is. This is exactly what he said is happening, which is crazy. This guy predicted it. He's a freaking prophet. Me, when I lie my ass off to grift. You mean being supported by hundreds of thousands of people? Receiving thousands of likes, being right? Okay, yeah, no, I'll take that one. That's a win. Then there's this guy, good old John Hunt. This guy is like a crazy, obsessive stalker X. Yeah, that's about how I feel. I saw that he was spamming. I was actually alerted to this from one of our moderators that he was spamming comments, and I looked into it a little bit, and yeah, everyone agreed this guy's kind of lost it a little bit. I went to his profile just to kind of examine it a little bit, and he's leaving comments, tweet messages, replies on the official Wuthering Waves tweets. They're actual tweets where he's telling them that they need to clean up their PR campaigns and focus on their own affairs instead of focusing on unofficial content creators. Like, some of these tweets are absolutely insane. They are delusional and unhinged, and he's being called out in every comment he makes. And like, I don't know, man, for whatever reason, he thinks he's in the right. And of course, he is a Hoyo player. I'm not saying again that this is, you know, all Hoyo players, but I checked his profile and he also is a Hoyo player. But then we have this. This is something I actually saw on his profile as well. This is apparently an argument here that multiple of them are using to kind of take apart or justify the inaccuracies in what Newzoo and Lenovo themselves have posted. And my interpretation of what they posted, my post specifically, it goes on to state that my post is not 100% false, but it's misleading and exaggerates, misinterprets data from the Newzoo PC and Console Gaming Report 2026. So that is what they're sharing. Now, I went ahead here and did my own AI accuracy test here, and I asked it just like they did, and as you can see, they actually don't include the prompt here, so you can't actually see what they asked. I'm going to go ahead here and show you exactly what I asked, because what I'm doing here is not disingenuous. I am more than happy showcasing everything because I have nothing to hide. So I asked AI, is this tweet accurate? And you know what it said? The tweet accurately represents data from Newzoo's 2026 PC console gaming report, which was published on March 12, 2026. The chart shared in the post matches the report's ranking of the top 20 PC games by playtime share for 2025, based on monitored data from 37 markets, excluding China and India, with Wuthering Waves at number 18 and Genshin Impact at number 19. Among Gacha-style games, these are indeed the top 2 in the list, making Wuthering Waves the most played Gacha title on PC by this metric, followed closely by Genshin Impact. In a shocking turn of events, this was actually accurate, true, legitimate, and correct. Who'd have thought? The report notes that rankings for certain late 2025 releases like Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders may be understated, but this doesn't affect the positions of the games mentioned in the tweet. Post also correctly specifies the data is PC exclusive and focused on playtime share, not revenue or multi-platform totals. Again, in a shocking turn of events, everything I stated was actually accurate and correct. So then I asked AI, is this tweet inaccurate? Was I lying? And it says no, the tweet appears to be accurate and completely aligns with everything as noted by multiple different sources as well. For whatever reason, there are certain people out there that are just incapable of accepting that there can be more than one very good, very popular game. There are multiple people out there that, for whatever reason, are unable to accept that Wuthering Waves on PC is actually very popular. I've stated repeatedly, Genshin Impact has more mobile players. Hands down. They probably have twice Wuwa's mobile player base, maybe thrice, I don't know. The mobile player base for Genshin is enormous, same with Honkai Star Rail. But Wuwa is unquestionably the most popular PC gacha, because it is the gacha game with the most PC players. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. At the end of the day, right, I love Wuwa, but I'm well aware that it's not the most popular game by every metric. And by extension, there are people that should also understand that Genshin is not the most popular gacha game by every metric. Going back on over to the official website, though, that went on to document the actual positioning of each game, it states that kudos, Wuthering Waves rose to 5th place this month, reaching a new all-time high. So this is a peak for Wuthering Waves. I mean, evidently the game is continuing to increase, right? So or even higher. The version 3.1 major update not only introduced a core character, Imeth, but its tear-jerking storyline has been hailed by some players as the highest peak of storyline among second-generation games. There are people saying that this, wow, yeah. No, it really, that is what they're saying, and I actually kind of agree. This positive reputation directly translated into popularity. For example, when ASO virtual streamer Narine streamed the 3.1 update, she garnered over 220,000 concurrent viewers, the minimum number of viewers who watched or interacted. And they also did not really agree that this was accurate. There were people claiming that it was definitely botted. There's no way that was real or genuine, etc., because, you know, someone, a big content creator streaming a game clearly can't amass numbers like that are higher than any other recorded stream of a gacha game in history, right? No, it can't be Wuthering Waves, breaking the historical record for related streams. And then beyond that, specifically pertaining to Arknights Enfield, in contrast, Arknights Enfield, which debuted in January and broke into the top 5, has slightly fallen back down to 7th place this month, which I want to point out is still an incredible number. The entire top 10, the entire top 20, rather, are incredible numbers. People that are looking at these numbers and just saying, no, they're not, are unhinged. These are all incredibly popular games, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who is number 1, who is number 2, or who is number 3. The fact that there are gacha games that are actually breaking into a market that has been dominated by AAA games for decades, free video games? Dude, that is impressive. Amidst the intense Spring Festival campaigns of established second-generation games, new games, after passing the initial launch boom, are gradually entering a phase of normalized long-term operation. And I'm assuming here that Arknights Enfield is going to solidify a player base and establish itself at a certain level. I hope it remains in the top 20, but that's going to be quite a feat to achieve long-term. But I guess we'll find out on the way to version 2.0 and after 2.0, whether or not the game has long-lasting power. But I just want to point out here, that was right. Once again, I was right. Wuthering Waves is the #1 most played gacha game on PC. I was also right when I stated that it's not the most popular mobile game, the most played mobile gacha game, because it's not, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't need to be. And people need to just stop lashing out and attacking each other in each respective community, and they also need to stop stalking me on social media and making me their life, because that's kind of weird. Like, I'm married. I'm a taken guy. I'm John, brother. I don't really know who you are, but you need to hop off my dick just a little bit, please. You're starting to smell. It's getting a little uncomfortable. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.